I guess it's just, growing up with BMX, the adrenaline that we get from racing, and, I think it's all the people we get to spend time with, and, growing up, it doesn't change what friends you have in BMX and how much fun we have when we go to places and even travelling overseas. I just love riding my bike in general.
Okay, tell us in 30 seconds or so about how this season 2015's gone for you so far.
This season for me hasn't been too bad. Second year elite for me, so I guess it's kind of an important year considering we've got the Olympics next year. But so far the National Series it was a bit up and down for me. I had a few crashes and a few good results, but so far it's been good, and did our first World Cup race and got out in quarters there, missing semis by about one spot, so it's good so far.
Okay, and what about, I know you explained it a little bit there, but just tell us in 30 seconds or so what you've achieved in the last year.
In the last year for me, so I think overall in the National Series I ended up 5th, and with the the Continentals yesterday I ended up with a 3rd place. So that's big for me coming into this year, and I made it through to quarterfinals for the first World Cup race, so that's pretty big for me as well.
This weekend, what are your expectations for this National Championship, and who's going to be the hardest to beat and why?
Well, considering the rain, I don't really have many expectations. They've obviously changed coming into the race, but I think, obviously Caroline's one to look out for. She won the title last year, and obviously she won in Manchester, so she's going fast, but all the girls are equal out there, and I think it can be anybody's race considering all the rain at the moment.
When you're up there on the gate and you look across and you've got Carolyn Buchanan and Lauren Reynolds and Melinda McLeod, and there really are some elite world-class athletes, do you think you belong?
Most definitely. I mean, if you asked me that probably a year ago, I'd probably say no. But I got a taste of it last year, and I've been taught by a lot of people around me that when I go into those races, they're no different to me. So regardless of their titles, regardless of how long they've been racing, I get up there and I know that I belong because I've had some decent results, and I've been selected for the high performance team, and if I didn't back myself and the people didn't back myself, then obviously I'd feel a little bit different. But yeah, it's definitely just feels normal getting up there, and I feel like I belong.
Off the bike, what or who have been the biggest influences on you personally as a woman and as an athlete?
I guess I could say definitely the people around me. I mean, I talk about my family in respects to that. Like, my mum and dad have always had my back, and when things get tough, they're always the one to, pick me up, and I have my sisters supporting me. So they've always obviously been good role models to me outside of the sport, and all my friends from home as well. They don't quite understand all the BMX stuff, but they're there just to, mentally help me and just keep me on track. And, I've had my coaches around me, and I guess, the other high performance riders, like, they're a few years older than me, and I look up to those guys, and they've mentored me into the programs, and, they've given me advice when I've needed it. So they've always been a big influence, and it's such a good help having those guys, because you look at them and, you've got Sam on top, you've got Caroline on top, and, Mel and Lauren don't follow far behind. So, they've always had my back, and they're always looking out for me when I need it.
Okay, has there been a point in the last sort of year or two where you've sort of gone, well, I was a good junior and junior's fun, but this is really serious now, and I'm right at the top of my game, and I could go to the Olympic Games?
Yeah, most definitely. When I was in junior, like you said, I obviously didn't think about it much. Just riding junior, getting a result in the first year, I got a 5th at the World Championships, and even the second year I missed out, but I did a couple Supercross races last year and I made semis, and it's been since the Olympic cycle has started again and getting into elite, and there only being 4 girls at the moment, there's obviously a big chance. So it kind of hits you all hard when the Olympic point cycle started, and it's a big thing, but you can't let the pressure get to you.
Do you think about it often? I mean, do you wake up in the morning and think the Olympics is only X amount of days away, or do you dream about it?
Sometimes, I most definitely, some mornings you'll wake up and you've got all these emails about, Olympics coming up, and the other day I had to do an Olympic clothes fitting. So the lady asked me, are you most likely to gain weight until next year? And I'm like, that's so soon, but yet, you know, like it's so far at the same time. So everything's coming out really fast, but definitely with, you know, every race like that counts pretty much for points as well, and you've got coaches telling you that we need this and we need that, and I mean, it gets tough, and you do think about it every day because it's so soon, but you just got to take each day.
There's 2 spots available, and there's, as you said, there's 4 girls. There's four in the Australia's high performance unit, and 4 of you girls right at that elite level globally. What happens if you miss out?
That's a good question. I mean, there are 4 of us, and there's only 2 spots that we can go for, and you know, we're all kind of, I guess, equal at the moment. Nobody's that far ahead that they're guaranteed a spot. So I look at it like anything can happen, and I know that from this point on, if I, like, you know, I don't give up and I put everything into it. And I think if I miss out for next year, I know I have a chance for, you know, the next 4 years coming up, and I've still got a lot of time to develop. But at the end of the day, as long as I put in my best effort and give everything I have and know that I did everything I could, and, you know, I'll support those girls that do qualify if I don't make it, and, you know, go for the next one.
Great answer. Just finally, what makes Rachel Jones tick? Like, what makes you get up in the morning and tackle life?
I think knowing that I have the opportunities I do. So I think, you know, when I wake up in the morning, I'm blessed with the life I have. You know, I get to travel the world racing my bike, travel the world with some of my best friends, and, you know, I have my family all around me and they're always supporting me. I just think it's, I think it is, you know, those opportunities I can go out and make something of myself and make something of the sport I'm doing, and I really just love what I do. So, you know, it makes training easy and it makes racing easy. So, you know, it's just a love of the sport, I think.
And just, yeah, finally, you mentioned before your friends don't quite understand the BMX thing, but you've got this amazing life. Do you ever think of the sacrifices, or is it all just part of the game?
No, most definitely. There's always sacrifices. I mean, even from a young age, like I've, you know, had to miss important weddings for my families and, you know, certain functions. But at the end of the day, everybody close to you understands those sacrifices that you have to make. And, you know, like I said, I love what I do for the sport, and we do make those sacrifices because we do love the sport. And I mean, at the end of the day, we're still happy, so we make those sacrifices to make us happy.